It's Anna Marie from ERA King in Birmingham, Alabama. Was working with a buyer a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago, and we had made an offer on a house, and the listing agent, I would call and leave her a message with the offer and ask her to call me, and her apparently preferred form of communication with me anyway was via text and or email, although she said she preferred text. And in the beginning of the negotiations, it wasn't that difficult because it was just straightforward, and we were working on getting to in the middle of the price and closing costs, just all the stuff that you negotiate when purchasing a house. And we finally got to a place where we were only 1%, $5,000 apart. And so I called her again and I said, please call me so that we can talk this through. I wanted to make sure that what she was understanding from the text message was accurate, because let's face it, text and email have never been misunderstood before. People have never implied the wrong term or read into it in the wrong way, or it never happens ever. So I leave her a message and I said, please call me so that we can talk about this. She almost immediately sends me a text back that says, I only text and I only email. What is your buyer's response? And I couldn't help but get extremely frustrated, because we are so close to making this work, and you won't talk to me on the phone. How is this doing a good service to not only the buyers and the sellers, but to the deal? I mean, I was extremely frustrated by the situation, because I think that we sat at being such a small dollar amount apart for almost a week because of this not being able to communicate back and forth with her effectively. And then I got concerned that, all right, if she's texting me with her seller's response and wanting to know what our response is, how do I know that do her sellers think that she is talking to me, or do her sellers think that know that she is texting me? And how do I know that she like I said, text messages, like, they could be misinterpreted or, misunderstood, and just, sometimes the wording, not on purpose, but it can seem ambiguous when you write it. So, and then I realized, what if she wasn't even talking to her sellers? What if she was texting and emailing her sellers, and they were misinterpreting the offer that was put in place? Or was she misinterpreting? Anyway, I was just extremely frustrated with the situation, and I hope we're not at a place or we're turning into a place that agents can't communicate on the phone with each other anymore. They choose not to communicate on the phone with each other anymore. And I realize, there's opportunities, and yes, there are places for text messages. Texting, is it okay to show? Texting, feedback to your seller. Texting quick questions to the other agent. Hey, I'm sending you an offer over, check your email. Stuff like that. Yes, I'm not saying it, and I've absolutely taken part in texting other agents before, especially in negotiations. But at some point, when you get really close to being able to make this deal work, A, or B, you feel like something is not being communicated correctly, picking up the phone and talking on the phone is the only way that's going to be resolved. And I just was extremely frustrated, and now you've heard my frustrations on my blog, and I'm interested to hear your comments as, fellow agents. Am I missing something? And yes, I get the whole paper trail, wanting to see the conversation go back and forth. Yes, I get that. I agree with it. But we could have had a talk on the phone, said, hey, this is our counter. I'm going to text you so you'll have it in writing. Yes, that is perfectly acceptable. But we had a conversation about it first to make sure that was what was they understood what was being communicated and what was being offered. So I'm interested in hearing any comments. Am I missing something? Do you agree, disagree, buyers, sellers? How would you feel about this, when working with an agent, if they were only texting, and if there was a possibility of something being miscommunicated? You can always email me at anna-marie@era-king.com or leave a message below.